Hey guys, welcome around. Today is a gentle parenting type of video. So I say it's gentle parenting video, it's just a motherhood video. I have 3 kids and I was thinking about basically things I wish I'd done better as a mum. A lot of these, I've been a mum now for 11 years. It is crazy. Each of my experiences has been really, really different, obviously, because I've got 3 individuals. I've changed a lot, very lot over the years of having my kids. But there's just some things if I look back and I'm like, what do I wish I'd done better or got better at sooner, or that I need to change now? And I was thinking about it and thought that'd be kind of interesting to share with you guys as well, so kind of get to know a bit about kind of stuff that I feel I could have done better or differently that might kind of be interesting for you guys and help you to also have a little think. So I do think that sometimes a good old shaking down of the tree of what we're doing right, what we can improve on, is just a healthy thing to do. So I say gentle parenting because I do have a series here all about gentle parenting. So gentle parenting is kind of the term. It was introduced by Sarah Ockwell-Smith. I think it was introduced by her, who's like a British child psychotherapist, I think she is. And it's basically, its full name is authoritative parenting. So it's not permissive parenting where you just kind of let anything go, but it's also not authoritarian where you're kind of like my way or the highway. So authoritative is kind of more like in the middle, so you set really clear boundaries and things like that, and you really respect your children. It's basically like baby-led. We talk about being baby-led weaning and stuff when they're tiny, and just continuing that through how you discipline and how you coach your children when they're older and how you respond to their problems and their tantrums, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've got a whole series. So things I wish I had done better as a mum, and I do feel like I've been a different mum to each of my 3 children, and that's kind of really what I started thinking about. Like, I was thinking, did Freddie get the best of me, my first? Because I was just so, awestruck, and it was just 100%. And then third baby, but then does she have a better time because she's already got siblings? I'm a more relaxed mum, whatever. So the thing I wish I had done best, the first thing that popped into my mind is played to my strengths. Really wish that earlier on I had played to my strengths. So when I became a mum, I felt like I had to be great at everything, and it was the first time in my life where I'd been kind of like domesticated. I was really laughing about that because I think it's really true. Like before, I was like, me and my husband, we were just both working, we were out and about in London all the time, we weren't sort of like a couple that was like back at home at 6 o'clock having dinner on the table. We were both working busy new careers in London and kind of like whizzing around town. So he might be out 2 nights a week, I might be out 3 nights a week. I was always a bit more going out too, but so we sort of just looked after ourselves basically. We fed ourselves, we got ready for ourselves, we didn't check in on each other, and then we were obviously very clearly in love. But then I became a mum, and suddenly I felt like, oh my gosh, I am at home all the time. I should be a great housewife now. I should be an amazing cook now. I should, all these things that I felt I should be great at and that don't come naturally to me at all. And I've had to learn them. Now I'm like 11 years on and I feel like I can do those things more naturally because I've just learned them through practice. But what I wish I'd been stronger about is that I'm such a playful mum. I know I'm a playful mum. I really enjoy play. I can arrange a whole day of play activities. I bring people together, like I would do lots of play dates. I would go to lots of clubs and activities and fully enjoy myself when I'm there as well. Like for me, it's not a chore, it's like my favourite thing to do. And that's valuable as well. And I never really valued that part of motherhood, which might sound strange to you guys because you're probably already there, but for me I always found like that was like came after having like a clean house and a good routine. I focused on what I was lacking rather than what I was good at. And so whatever your thing is, you might find play really dull and boring and hard, and lots of people do. And then, but you might have like the most beautiful home. You might be the most organised mum that always got their homework in on time and stuff like that. Tell me everything. So whatever you are, just focus on your strengths, and no, you don't have to do it all. You're not a one-man band that's brilliant at everything, but you've got some really good strengths. The second thing is I really wish I had more courage. I think that what this comes down to is I've always kind of hated that phrase, trust your instincts. I was told it so often at the beginning of having a baby, just trust your instincts, but also feed them every 4 hours, get them into this routine, make a rod for your own back. And I was just like, what am I doing? Because my instincts don't tell me anything basically right now. I was a very blank canvas. And sometimes my instincts were also wrong. Like, was particularly in the tough bits, like my instinct was to breastfeed and my body could not breastfeed Freddie. It was making both of us sick, but I carried on, I persevered, and I felt pure grief when I couldn't do it. So like I literally grieved. And there is a thing, breastfeeding grief, which I didn't know about till years later. And then with my second child, he had special educational needs and I procrastinated. My instinct was to protect him from the world and hold him out of school and not let him get out there. That was my real protective instinct, and that was the wrong thing. And actually what I needed was courage to ask for help and courage to listen to things that sometimes go against the grain. So it's a weird one, but you see what I'm meaning? Like, sometimes it's more courageous to put yourself second and kind of go, do you know what? I need to get help for my child, even though everything in me is saying, oh, it's too frightening, or I need to go onto bottles, even though everything in me is saying that's not the type of mum you expect to be, type of mum, not the type of experience you expect to have with feeding. You've got to be really strong and courageous and listen to others around you as well, even when it feels the most scary thing to do. And the next one actually says, I wish I had faced my problems head on, which is pretty much what I just said. I blended those 2 points. But yeah, facing your problems head on doesn't come easily to me. And I think that sometimes we're sort of looking around for, like, where's the mum? Where's the adult who's making this big decision for me? And realising that the buck stops with me, I found super hard. And actually, some mums I've spoken to, a lot of us say it's just the overwhelming responsibility that no one is doing this, no one's going to show up and take over, like, particularly with, I guess, with me and Henrik, because we don't have family anywhere close by at all. Like, we've never had that. His family are in Sweden and my family are about 3-4 hours away. They work full time, they care for my granny, so they're not available to us at all. And yeah, I kind of found that a bit hard. So yeah, facing my problems head on was something I had to learn to do over time, and I wish I'd been able to do it a bit sooner. Just kind of gone, let's talk, let's sort this out, whether that's finance, whether that's body image, whether that's your sex life, whether that's a problem with your child that they're going through. You know, putting your shoulders back and going, yeah, actually, I'm going to deal with this. It's hard for me. I wish I'd been better at that, and that's a work in progress, as you can hear. I wish I'd been not obsessed with making mum friends. Obsessed, still am. Mum friends to me was like going to be the best bit, because I'm such a sociable person, and so is my husband. We're both really, really sociable. So are our kids. Like, we're the type of people that thrive in other people's company. Whereas some people really sort of are better alone, but we're really like, we love being with our friends, and we've always had a big group of friends. And I got obsessed with making mum friends. I was super lucky first time around. We had the dream. When we met the mum and the dad, the kids got on, we all holidayed together, we got on so perfectly. And it was just a really lovely relationship. Sounds a bit polyamorous, it wasn't. We just really got on, and then that kind of faded away because life moved on, and I went on to have 2 more kids. They never had any more children. They went to different schools, and they got a great friendship group at the school, and we kind of just felt like, when I relocated here, you know, I talked about it a lot, we relocated when we had Evelina, that I've really got obsessed with making mum friends. And I started to really give myself grace on that and just be like, do you know what? You've got great friends, I've got wonderful friends, and they don't need to be a mum friend who lives on my road and goes to the same school. For some reason, I guess that's how I grew up. My parents are super sociable. We had friends, our neighbours in and out of the house all the time, and so did Henrik. His parents are the same. So I think we've just grown up with that, with a lot of noise and dinner parties and kids running in and out, and we wanted that, we missed that. Whereas actually we haven't quite got to that stage. We've got to the stage where we still see tons of our old friends, but our local community not so much. So that's something that's missing, but I wish I'd not obsessed about it. And when I stopped obsessing about it and just thought, you know what, why am I caring so much about making friends with, you know, Judy because she lives 2 doors down and has a child the same age? Like, I may not like Judy. I've got some great friends, really great friends. The person I spoke to most over lockdown was my single male best friend, Chris, who you'd have met in my vintage shop along video. We speak still nearly every day during lockdown. We just connected so much. We just couldn't stop chatting. We were helping each other out with our problems, even though we're so different. He became like my person. So it doesn't have to be mum friends, and if you're finding it hard to make mum friends, just think it's not the be all and end all. SJ's got no mates. I do have some friends. I do. I wish I'd been okay with saying no more and giving people the real reasons behind saying no to things sometimes. So I'm a little bit of a, oh no, I can't because of other reasons, but actually saying to people, being able to say to people, no, I'm just really exhausted today and I need to be alone, or saying no, my mental health just not feeling that strong at the moment, I'm feeling a little bit fragile, I don't think I can go to that occasion. I think that that's okay to say things like that. I think it's actually much more healthy, and I feel like I'm so grateful for the lockdown that that's one thing that's come out of it, is I feel like people are much happier to say, how are you feeling today? Is it a good day or a bad day? And I feel like that works so well for me with gentle parenting, because it's all about accepting all feelings are valid and that we're all going to have blue days. And as soon as we admit we have blue days and our kids are allowed, shock horror, to have a low day, or to have a day when they're just cranky about everything. Cranky, that's not a word I ever said before. Or to have a day when they're just they just can't be bothered to get out of bed. Like, we all have those days, and I wish I'd been better at saying no, opening up about my emotions, because I think once I say to my kids all the time, name your emotion, don't just say no or don't just act, name the emotion you're feeling. And I don't practice that enough in real life myself. So that's something I'm going to be doing a lot more of. And I did it the other week. Oh my God, and it was so stressful. I just said to this guy, I had to cancel something. And I said, I really can't do it. I'm just feeling in a real low self-esteem place right now. I was like, and she was just totally got it. And she was like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And then we adjusted things and we did things differently. And I thought, thank God I just said that, because I could have just said, no, I'm busy. And then she would have been a bit like, well, she's a bit of a cowbag of cancelling on me last minute. But it was better just to be honest and open. And the last one is I wish I'd not felt endless working mum guilt. I worked full-time from when Freddie was 10 months and full-time from when Finn was 1. Did get a bit of an extended mat leave with him, which was great, because I was a bit more established at work. But not being a working mum was never an option until this year when we had Evelina, and we changed our lives around to make it so that I didn't have to work full time. We moved out of London and stuff like that, and Henrik just happened to get another new job, so that sort of covered it. And then without the childcare costs and the travel costs, it was literally down to the wire of like that. So I really wish, I feel like I've spent many a year crying myself to sleep and putting every problem that I faced. Probably one of the reasons I didn't face my problems was because I'm a person who, if there's a problem, I say it's because of me. And it was like, because you're a working mum, Finn's got a speech delay, because you're a working mum. Probably some people will say, yes, it is. So let's be kind in the comments. But I wish I'd been better at that. And if you would like more working mum stuff, I've got to do my little career chat, because I keep saying I'm going to, so I need to do that next. Thanks so much for listening. I hope it's been interesting and helpful, insightful in some ways. Have a think what you wish you would do better, because I feel like with all of these now I can flip and not repeat old mistakes. And I would love for you to have that same opportunity and chance. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're brand new. I would love that. And let me know any topics you'd love me to cover next, all around gentle parenting, positive discipline, thoughtfulness, mindful parenting. Yeah, just lots of topics, all with the word parenting at the end. That's something nice at the beginning. Lots of love, guys. Bye.